double opponents at home. The commentator at Blundell Park, John Helm.
Wolves haven't been to Blundell Park for a league game for 35 years, and they know victory today will make it almost certain they won't be back again next year. But the form which put them on top of the table has been elusive recently, only 2 wins in 7 matches. And today's team lacks the inspirational qualities of Kenny Hibbett, who's suspended, so it's as well for Wolves that Wayne Clark is fit to resume after a bout of flu. Grimsby also have a key player suspended. Kevin Drinkle, who scored 21 of the club's 48 goals, has to sit this one out. And with on-loan defender Mike Saxby dropping out this morning, manager David Booth has been forced to reshuffle a depleted squad. So Paul Wilkinson, an 18-year-old striker who's had 3 run-outs as a substitute, starts a game for the very first time. So Grimsby, whose home form really has kept them in the top half of the table all season, kick off from left to right in the usual black and white striped shirts. And what a sensational start. If that ball crosses the line, well, that'll be an old goal from the centre-half, and I've never seen a start like that. Well, that was quite astonishing, and it would have been the most dramatic start to any game this season. This is incredible. The pass back from Phil Crosby eludes Batch. He's struggling on the slippery surface. Now, even when he pulls the ball back there, very, very close indeed. Well, what a funny decision for Mr. Tildersley, today's referee from Stockport, to have to make in the first 5 seconds of the match. Gray very effective there, and stronger than Crosby in the challenge. And that ball kept in play. So Mel-Eves looking for Andy Gray, who came and... well, I think that would have been an own goal, wouldn't it? Because Gray got up and the Grimsby defender got up together, and that will be interesting to see again. And Grimsby living so dangerously. Well, we'll watch with interest here as Mel-Eves eludes the challenge, gets the cross in. Now Gray goes in. No, it's a clear header from Gray. And how unlucky you feel he is at the moment. Well, Wilkinson's done well this time. Ford. Now Waters. Nice little cross too. Wilkinson coming up on the far side. Good catch from Burridge. And the free kick given. And a penalty has been given. I don't believe that. A penalty has been given to Grimsby. The supporters are cheering, and I bet a lot of them are wondering what it was all about. Joe Waters with the cross here. Burridge you'll see coming from his line. Wilkinson you'll see coming forward. Now where is the offence committed? To me, Burridge caught the ball cleanly, and I couldn't, in all honesty, see any offence there. So Joe Waters steps forward to aim for his 8th goal of the season, and if he converts it, it'll be his 6th penalty success. The word is still if. Waters versus Burridge, and Waters wins. 1-0 to Grimsby. But I would think that a lot of hot air is being expounded in the Wolves' defence at the moment. Waters striking it quite sweetly. John Burridge got his right hand to the ball but couldn't keep it out. And Kevin Moore missing his kick there, but it's fallen fortuitously. Not played well out of defence. It's a determined challenge by John Stone. A lot of players giving the ball away at the moment. Mel-Eves has stayed down after the challenge. Well, the Wolves trainer is going to be required. I don't think Eves will be sitting down for long. So he's got a bit of a kick there just below the knee. Well, this really does look more serious than it appeared at first. A stretcher has now been called for and is appearing at the moment. This is how it happened. Eves there, number 10. This is where he goes for the ball, and he stretches and gets caught in the act of stretching, really. He doesn't honestly look in, I'm going to say, a great deal of pain. He's talking there. And whether he's signalling that he wants a little bit more time, or is the sub going to come on? Well, John Richards has done some limbering up and down. It appears to me that they've taken the decision to have a look at Mellives in the dressing room and see how bad the injury is before deciding whether to bring the sub on. And Kellock's kick here. Clark knocking it down. This is Matthews. And it's a dangerous ball. It ran and trickled almost through to Batch in the end. We've had 3 minutes of injury time. Here comes Grimsby storming forward once more. Waters. Long ball for Bobby Cumming, who knocks it back into the path of Crosby. Whacks it in. What a goal that would have been. Certainly confidence abounded there in Phil Crosby's shot, which was the last act of the first half. The ball is knocked back to him here. One step forward and he slams it in. It sways way wide, but at least he had the confidence to back. So Joe Waters, who got that penalty goal after 21 minutes in very controversial circumstances, goes off, and it's his goal that separates the teams here at Blundell Park. It's Grimsby Town 1, Wolves 0. Mellives, who left the pitch on a stretcher in the first half, looks fit and well enough now and is straight into the thick of it as we start the second half here at Blundell Park. So it's a good decision by Wolves not to bring on their substitute. Here's Matthews. Palmer swinging it first time. Here's Kellock, and a good overhead kick as well from Kellock. Not a bad try. So Grimsby live on there, and here's Cumming. Oh, and he's got past Humphrey inside the area. Cumming wraps. Cumming gets applause for his run, but he'll be disappointed too that he didn't get his shot on target. Took on Humphrey well here. Comes forward in that almost languid stride and hits his shot there. Perhaps took it a little bit too soon. Clark. It's a good ball for Matthews. Wolves unable to make much progress at the moment there. They're still in the same position they were 10 seconds ago. Now Smith here has the chance to feed Kellock. There's the cross, Gray's there, and it's falling for Matthews, who cracks it in, hits the post, and oh, Clark can't capitalise, but surely Eaves will. Batch, it's over the line, is it? It is over the line. And Mellives, who was carried off on a stretcher in the first half, has come back to such good effect. He's got the Wolves equaliser. It was a dreadful tangle back there, but Kellock started it with his cross. There was the cross. Andy Gray's header here. Matthews gets in the shot, which beats Batch, wraps against the post. Now Clark lost his footing there, crucially. It slid around all over the place and eventually ends up about 6 inches over the line from the boot of Mellives. 1-1. That's going to be a free kick against Andy Gray, who looked quizzically at the referee. Now says something too. Here's Cumming inside the area, blasted in, and no more than a couple of inches wide, and John Burridge is furious with his full-back. The applause is all reserved for Bobby Cumming. Free kick to Wolves this time. Well, every time Andy Gray and Kevin Moore go up at the moment together, there's a free kick one way or the other. Kellock directing the operation, so despite the fact it's only his second game, he seems to know his way, and a good header to Andy Gray, and what a fine save by Nigel Batch. Kellock knew exactly where he wanted to plant it, and Gray answered the call, but Batch was equal to it. There's the kick from Kellock, and you'll see Andy Gray thundering in there. Typical Andy Gray header, and a very good save. A few players around who puts his foot on the ball, slows things down. There's the cross from Crombie. Coming forward, will he hit it? Oh, it came straight back off Burridge's chest. Tony Ford denied there for what would have been a lethal strike. There's the left wing cross from Crombie, and it was well won in the air by Bobby Cumming. Ford chests it down, hammers it straight against Burridge's chest. Grimsby haven't been beaten here since November. Wolves, on the other hand, haven't won any of their last 5 away games, so I suppose a draw was very much on the cards. A good firm header by Crosby. A draw is what we've got, in fact, and I think that's a pretty fair result at the end of the day. Grimsby, who had a terrible scare in the first few seconds of the game when they almost conceded an own goal, got in front after 21 minutes with a penalty from Joe Waters, which Wolves hotly contested, but the league leaders did get their point, with Mel Eves scoring a really scrambled equaliser just a few minutes into the second half, and that after Eves had left the pitch on a stretcher in the first half. So Wolves will look back on this game and say that's a point gained, really. And they stay, of course, very much in the hunt for promotion to the First Division. The final score then here at Blundell Park
is indeed your life.
Late, there was Prison and Jimmy Boyle's story.